Here's the instructional video for Sam Webster's Nemesis. To begin, how did I do it, right? Very simple. I have a dozen odd-backed cards. In this case, the red cards are going to be our odd-backs. The blue cards are the rest of the deck. Now, what I recommend doing is taking 12 cards out of a blue deck, make them a variety of different cards, and then take the same ones out of a red deck and use those. Now, if you can't do that, if it's a pain to find the same ones, just grab 12 out of a red deck, take 12 out of the blue, and plop those in. That's all you need. You're going to place those on top, and you're going to put everything into the box. Another thing you could do, if you want, this isn't necessary, you're going to take all the 11 top cards and you're going to give them a convex bend. This is not critical. If you don't have time to do this, do not worry. This is just going to facilitate the shuffling in a minute. You're going to plop those on top. Once again, let me reiterate, this is only if you have time. If you're resetting in between tables, don't sweat it. This goes into the box. As in all color changing deck effects, you want to make sure that the color of the deck resonates with the audience, but on a subconscious level. You don't want to pick up the deck and say, hello, look, every single card is red, because what's that going to do? It's going to put them on guard, make them suspicious. You want them to know without knowing. So very casually, and almost on the offbeat, you don't want to rush anything. You want them to know deep down inside that deck is red. So what's a good way of doing that? Usually, I like to pattern. You can use this as an opener, let them know a little bit about yourself. And what I'm doing here is Hindu shuffling the top 10 or so cards. So for those who aren't aware of the Hindu shuffle, I'm grabbing the cards with my thumb at one side, my middle finger at the other, and I'm only grabbing a chunk from the top. Now, why it helps to use a convex bend is it's easy to know that you haven't grabbed too many. Because if you grab too many, boom, that would be very bad. It's better to err on the side of being too little than too many. So don't grab too many. Always grab just a small chunk. And all I'm doing is picking them up, pulling with my left thumb, middle, or ring finger, kind of a combination of both, pulling cards off the top. I don't even look at my hands while I'm doing this. I just chat and give them a shuffle. Turn them around, you can give them a shuffle. It doesn't change anything. This shuffle, once again, I'm grabbing cards from the top and shuffling off. Now don't grab more than 50 or 40 or so, or else you're going to hit into the red side. Just grab chunks of the blue cards. At this point, you're going to have a card selected. Now it's very important to have the card selected from the top 12. How do you do that? You want to make it kind of an informal cue that they have to pick one out. Say, go ahead, grab one out for me. And you're going to spread them relatively slow. If you get somebody difficult, then move on. Move on to somebody different. Say, come on, sometime today. Let's go quick. Make a joke out of it, but you want to emphasize that. So say, grab one out for me. And the slower you go, they're going to realize they have to grab one out, or it's going to take all day. So this is purely psychological. Grab one out. Somebody will grab one. They have a card. Now at this point, you'll have them put it back in anywhere they want. Try and hold the deck kind of solid, and if they try and put it right near the top, say, no, make it a little more challenging, stick it somewhere in the middle, make it hard on me. They put it into the middle. Now the way you present this is completely up to you. You can make this with somewhat of no preemptive measure. You can make the deck change color just all by itself, or you could do as I did and say, I'm going to change your card to be different from the deck, but not by changing your card, changing the whole deck. At this point, you riffle up the back, and you riffle up and catch a break below the first red card above the blue. So you spot the blue. As soon as you drop and see a red, get your pinky in there, dribble off. You can grab the cards above the break if you want, give a little dribble, retaining the break. All I'm doing is dribbling and keeping my pinky in there. That's just a nice little touch. Square the card into the pack, and now you're going to give two sets of cuts, a swing cut followed by a swivel cut. You're going to take the break over that was from the pinky and put a thumb break in. So you're now taking pinky break, shifting to a thumb break. You're going to cut with your forefinger. You're going to do a swing cut of approximately half the cards above the break. Lift and swing over. So you're cutting below the break. It's very important. If you cut deeper, they'll see blue. You don't want that to happen. Cut approximately half into your left hand. Okay? That's a swing cut. Then you're going to do a swivel cut, which is where your left thumb contacts the inner left corner of the remainder above the break. And it's going to swivel them clockwise around your right middle finger as a pivot point, clockwise, and then drop them onto the left cards. Last but not least, you're going to drop all the remaining cards from the right hand onto those cards. One red card on top, followed by blue cards, followed by the selection, red card somewhere in the middle, followed by on the bottom, 11 red cards. Next, we're going to perform an Erdnase change. Now I want to go into some detail on the Erdnase change because many people that have been performing it in the mainstream and explaining it have not been doing a good job as far as I'm concerned. There are two very important points to make the illusion of this change powerful. One, the way this change works is my right hand is going to go over the deck, and as it does, I'm going to push this card about a 1/4 inch forward. Now this is a huge mistake that people make. You do not want to put your hand on here and push forward. That destroys the illusion. What you want to do is make that move invisible, like I just did. What I'm doing is letting my right pinky contact the corner of the card with this part of my pinky. This happens as I turn my hand over. It's absolutely invisible. It's almost difficult for me to show you how it's happening. I'm going to try and show you an exposed view. As I turn, as I'm turning, my finger is going to push it forward. As I turn, my finger pushes it forward. So from performance, you can't see it. It's already happened. The pushing happens in between this stage and this stage. I move my pinky forward. That's the first part. That's been done. Next, this area of your hand is going to contact the blue card, and it's going to move it back until it clicks above the red card. So this piece, this card below is going to get moved back until it clicks over the red card. At this point, you're going to move your hand forward, depositing this palm card on top of the red card. Here's the next major mistake that people make. As soon as they get to here, they push this card in. You don't want to do that. You want to make it seem fluid, as if the change happened all at once. So what I'm doing there is at the moment, let me go back a second. At the moment that my middle and ring finger for my right hand cover my forefinger, at that moment where it's covered, that's the moment when I push the card flush with the pack. So you can't see it happening. And that activates the change. So it happens all together. It's hard to break this down because it's that invisible. That's how great the change is. Right at this point, when my finger is blocked, it's going to push the card flush with the deck. My right hand is going to deposit the other card on top. Boom. That's the change. At speed, it looks like this. Move your hand back. Boom. Changes. Very visual. Now, I comment that this isn't the only card that changed. I get a break above the top too. All I do is lift up, and I double undercut. Once, twice, even 3 times if you want, however many times you want. You can use patter to cover that saying 1, 2, 3, not even 4, but the whole deck. What you've just done is double undercut a blue card and a red card to the bottom, so that this red card is no longer second from the top. There you go. Now you can spread through the cards, and they're all blue, up until you hit this red one, and then you can keep on going until there's about 15 cards left. Now notice I just got to the end. You don't want to go that far, but you can still make a very convincing illusion that they're all blue by spreading your hands nice and wide apart, like this. Have them grab out that card. There's going to be a ton of misdirection. Here's going to be the steal and the ditch that are critical to the routine in order for the card to be examinable. The spectator is going to grab out this card. You're going to eyeball it. If you feel you're about, right now I would say I'm pretty close. Let's see how I am. Yep, I'm within 2 of the red card. So I can feel it by weight alone that I'm within about 2 to 3 cards. Right about there, I can feel it right now. Yep, 3 cards. What you want to do is when they grab that card out, and they're going to show it to everybody, you're going to close the deck and catch a break with your pinky above that bottom block of cards. There could be blue cards above it. Don't worry if there are. Now you're going to execute 2 moves at the same time. You could hand them the deck, and I've just stolen the cards, or if you have a table, you can ribbon spread. What I'm doing is I'm gambler copying these cards. I have a pinky break. As I lift, my left hand is going to squeeze the cards. My middle finger goes up and squeezes them into the back, like so. Now, at first this may feel very uncomfortable, especially doing it with this many cards. That's why the natural misdirection and body motion covers it. A larger motion of moving forward covers a smaller motion of moving back. What I do when I move back, I'll give you an exposed view, is I'm going to turn, and these cards just go right into my pocket. So easy. There's no reason to rush this. Everybody wants to see, they're going to turn over the card, and you can put the deck down right in front of them, and with a nice resounding thud, I've already ditched those cards. I'm already clean. Now, no need to tell them, examine the cards. That was more for the video because you guys are magicians and we're wondering if there's some gimmicks involved. Just smack the deck down. Let them be the ones to pick it up. Let them take a look. They're going to look through it. And oh my God, the cards are really all blue. There you have it. This trick is going to take some work. Like all magic, give it the practice it deserves before going out there and performing this. Don't be scared of the ditch at the end. Look in the mirror, get your timing right. It's all about tempo. The tempo of this move is what sets it apart. Your natural motions, larger motions covering smaller motions. This motion of moving forward as you steal, and turning your body to the left, it punctuates the emotion. Boom, down, you've already ditched, you're set. Put the deck down, let them examine it. If you want a nice little touch, since you don't need this card, is you could go ahead and write your name on it, write your phone number if you wanted, and that's a killer business card. That's almost better than whatever business cards you really have because they're always going to remember that trick. This is a memento of the magic, so it's more likely they're going to keep it, probably put it on their fridge. There you have it, Nemesis by Sam Webster.